Welcome to online studies of Ashadip International School, Standard 10, Subject Mathematics, Chapter 13, Surface Area and Volume. So today we are going to see the question number 3 of exercise 13.3. A 20-meter deep well of diameter 7. So here we are given diameter is equals to 7, right? So radius is equals to 7 divided by 2, that means r is equals to 3.5, right? (7 meter) is dug the earth to form, digging evenly spread out form a platform. So now the cylinder becomes the cuboid because the platform is in the shape of cuboid, therefore the cylinder becomes the cuboid. Now you already see in the previous lecture that if one shape converted to the another shape, the volume remains the same. So here volume of cylinder is equals to the volume of cuboid, right? So both the volumes are going to be the equal, right? So here the depth means h is 20, the radius is 7 by 2. Now area of platform, why the area of platform is given? See here, it is evenly spread to form a platform of 22 by 14. So if it is 22 by 14, this is going to be the L and this is going to be the B, right? Okay, now let's move ahead. So here L into B is given. Now we have to find out the H. Now so volumes are equal. So volume of soil digging from the well equal to the solid platform. Now volume of soil from a well is equals to the volume of soil used to making such a platform. Now what is the volume of well? The well is in the shape of cylinder. So that is nothing but the pi r square h is equals to, what is the volume of cuboid? So that is nothing but the LBH, right? Okay, now let's move ahead. So what about this? So this is the pi r square h. What about this? This is nothing but the LBH, right? So this is the area of platform into the height. Why? Because L into B is nothing but the area. So that is why here it is written area of the platform, right? So another pi is pi. Now we have to put the value of r, that is nothing but the 7 by 2 square, right? Then 20, then you have to put 22 by 14. So now you have to simplify it. Now from the numerator it goes into the denominator and you will get the 2.5 as an answer. As I said so many times, you need to practice the simplification as many times as possible, right? Because in the examination you can derive the formula, but the difficulty means you guys are going to face the difficulties while simplifying it, right? So you need to practice and you need to focus more on the simplification part. Okay, now question number 4, and this is a bit good question. A well of diameter 3 is dug 14 meter. So a diameter is 3, so diameter is 3, so radius is going to be the 3 by 2, and the deep means what? H is equals to 14, right? Earth is taken out and it has been spread evenly around it in the shape of circular ring. So here it is in the form of circular ring. This orange part is nothing but the circular ring which is spread around the cylinder, means the well. whose width is 4 meter. To form an embankment, find out the height of the embankment. So we need to find out this height of the embankment, right? So let's move ahead. Okay, so both have the equal volume. See this gray part, and this orange part both have equal volume, right? This gray part and this orange part, only orange part, because we take out this earth and spread it around the well, so this becomes this well becomes the embankment, right? So you need to find out the height of the embankment. So the diameter is 3, but what about the radius? So radius is going to be the 1.5, right? And this width is 4, so total is going to be the 5.5, right? Okay, now let's check the formula. So what about the formula? Volume of this, that is nothing but the pi small r square h is equals to, so here the capital minus this small we need to subtract, right? So what about the capital? So first of all, the area volume of this is the pi r square h is equals to, what about the volume of this orange part? That we need to take care of, and that is equals to pi, right? Now we need to subtract the bigger volume and the smaller volume. So what about the bigger volume? The capital R square, and h is nothing but the small h, minus pi small r square h. Now pi h common, so you can take the any notations here in the question. I will take the notations as an r1 and r2, so you can go ahead with the r1 and r2, that is also fine, but take care while the calculation, right? So here the first is 3 by 2, the smaller means r1 is nothing but the 3 by 2, and r2 is nothing but the 11 by 2. 11 by 2 is equals to 5.5, right? Okay, so those values are found over here, so we just go through it, right, as already I explained. Now we need to just simply put the values over here. So 3 square 9, 2 square 4, it's 9 by 4, 14. Pi and pi is cut, right? So here 11 upon 2 minus 3 upon 2, the total answer is 112 by 4. Now this 4 is from the numerator and 112 goes into the denominator, right? So it is 9 by 4 multiplied by 14 is equals to 112 divided by 4 into h. 4 and 4 cut. So now this 112 comes into the denominator, right? So divided by 1, 1 and 2. So now we need to simplify this and we'll get the value of h. So h is nothing but the 1.125 meters. So this sum is somewhat important. Why? Because this gray part converted into this orange part. So the volumes remain same. So pi, I say the notation which is here, r1 square h is equals to the bigger volume minus the smaller volume. So pi r1 square h is equals to pi. Now what is the bigger radius? That is the r2. So pi r2 square h minus pi r1 square h. Now pi h common. Pi h common. So we need to take the pi h common. R1 square minus R2 square is equals to pi R1 square h. Pi and pi cut. Now other thing, we need to put the value simply and need to solve it and you will get the answer. Now let's move ahead with the next sum. Right, a container shaped like a right circular cylinder having a diameter. So diameter is given, that is 12, and the radius is going to be the 6. The height is 15 centimeter. Now the ice cream okay, ice cream is to be filled into the cones of height 12 centimeter and diameter 6. If the diameter is 6, the radius is going to be the 3, right? So those things are mentioned here, right? The height h1, radius r1, radius r2, height h2, right? So those things are given. So now this cylinder is converted into this cone, right? But this cone have two shapes. One is the cone and the top one is the hemisphere. The top one is the hemisphere, right? So now what is the volume of this part? That is nothing but the pi r square h is equals to sum of the cone's volume and the hemisphere's volume. What about the cone? See here, what is the this is the r1 and h1, so 1 square 1. Now what about this? This is the pi r2h, but it is the cone, so it's a 1/3 pi r2 square h. And what about the hemisphere? That is nothing but the plus 2 by 3 pi r2 cube, and here h2, right? So this thing is written over here, right? But here what we have to find, we need to find out the number. We have to find out the number. So whenever we have to deal with the number, so that means the bigger volume upon the smaller volume, right? So n is equals to pi r1 square h1 upon 1/3 pi r2 square h2 plus 2 by 3 pi r2 cube, right? So this is the formula with us, and so that we see here the same formula, right? You will put the values and you will get the answer as a 10. Once again, simplification part is going to be done by the students, right? We did a lots of sum with the simplifications, right? So the concept is we need to find out the number of cones. So if we will have to deal with the number, we have to put the bigger volume upon the smaller volume, right? So bigger is the always the cylindrical part, and what about the this is the smaller, so that is nothing but the 1/3 pi r2 square h2, and this is the 2 by 3 pi r2 cube, and we need to add both of this, and that is going to be the divided by pi r1 square h1, right? Okay, now let's move on to the next sum, and that is how many silver coins of, see this sum you need to read properly. How many some silver coins of 1.75 so diameter is given 1.75, so the radius is nothing but the 1.75 divided by 2. Thickness, see this is the coin, see you can see the coin is in the shape of cylinder, so this is going to be the height. So what is the height? So height is nothing but the 2 millimeter, the millimeter. Must melted to form a cuboid. Now we need to melt this, and form a cuboid, right? So how many numbers of coins are required? So and we need to find out the numbers, so we have to deal with the numbers. So it is nothing but the bigger volume upon the smaller volume. So what is the bigger? Cuboid. Simple, right? What is the bigger? That is nothing but the cuboid. So n is equals to cuboid is nothing but this dimension, so it's a 5.5 into 10 into 3.5 divided by, this is nothing but the cylinder, so it is pi into r square, so 1.75 divided by 2 whole square into what is the h? So h is nothing but the 2 millimeter. So we need to convert the millimeter into the centimeter, because all the units must have the same units, right? So here 0.2 centimeter, or you can say 2 divided by 10, right? So this is the thing written over here, right? Simplify it and you will get the answer 400. Right? Now any doubt? If you have, ask me in the class. I hope you can clear this, right? See, here we have to deal with the numbers. Here we have to deal with the numbers. How many numbers of coins? So it's a how many coins, right? So how many coins means we have to deal with the number. So number means capital V upon the small v. Okay, now let's move ahead. Seventh sum and the last sum for the today. A cylindrical bucket, 32 centimeter height, and radius, here the radius is directly given, so we don't need to convert into the right any other form. Now filled with the sand, and that sand is emptied on the ground and make the conical hip, right? So the cylinder is converted into the cone. So now we'll take this as a 1 and 1, this has take a 2 and 2, so fixed we have to write down 1 and 2. So the height h1 is 32, radius is 18, height is 24, radius is r2, that we don't know, so we need to find out that radius. How we can find it out? Simple, both have the same volume, right? What is the volume of cylinder? So the volume of cylinder is nothing but the pi r1 square h1 is equals to pi r2 square h2, right? But here 1/3, because it is a cylinder, pi and pi cut, so remaining thing we need to simplify. So here each and every step is written, right? You just need to go step by step and you will get the answer. R2 is equals to 36. Find out the radius and the slant height. Another thing we have to find out is the slant height. In the very first lecture we see the formula of L, and that is nothing but the in square root of r square plus h square, right? So you just go through that formula and you will get this answer, right? So therefore the radius of the radius and the slant height of the conical hip is 36 and 12 square root of 3, right? So another thing where that we'll done with this everything, right? So that's it for today. If you guys have any doubt, just give me the comments and we'll meet the next lecture. Till then, bye bye, see you, stay home, stay safe.